Eala faces Sonmez of Turkey in Round 1 of Abu Dhabi Open. Alexandra Eala resumes her campaign in the WTA Tour against Turkey's Zeynep Sonmez in Round 1 of the stacked WTA 500 Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open starting on Monday at the Zayed Sports City International Tennis Center. It will be the third duel between two good pals, with the 20-year-old Filipina holding a 2-0 head-to-head advantage after wins in the 2023 W60 Nantes in France and the 2025 Eastbourne Open in England. Ms. Eala, WTA number 49, plunges into action with an all-time high morale after bringing the first-ever WTA tournament at home, the WTA 125 Philippine Women's Open, where she reached the quarterfinals after a 6-4, 6-4 defeat to eventual champion Camila Osorio of Colombia, WTA number 84. Game time is still to be determined after the ongoing qualifiers, but hopes are high for Ms. Eala to go deep in the rich Middle East city despite going up against a stacked squad led by reigning champion, number 1 seed and WTA number 10 Belinda Bencic of Switzerland. Also in the fray are world number 11 Ekaterina Alexandrova of Russia, number 2 seed, number 14 Clara Tauson of Denmark, number 3 seed, and number 15 Emma Navarro of the United States, number 4 seed. Ms. Tauson is a familiar foe whom Ms. Eala beat in the Round 1 of the US Open, 6-3, 2-6, 7-6, 13-11, to become the first Filipino winner in any Grand Slam main draw. Former Grand Slam champion Jelena Ostapenko of Latvia, number 24, whom Ms. Eala drubbed in the 2025 Miami Open that ignited her entry to the top 100 and later on top 50 as the first Filipina to do so, is also among the top seeds along with number 18 Ludmila Samsonova of Russia, Filipina-Canadian Leylah Fernandez, number 23, and Paula Badosa, number 26, of Spain. "Practice day," said the weary Ms. Eala, who wasted no time refining her bearings upon landing in the bustling city. She left Manila on Friday night. Ms. Eala will also strut her stuff in the doubles, teaming up with Southeast Asian pal Janice Tien of Indonesia, WTA number 59. The 23-year-old Ms. Tien beat her junior rival Ms. Eala 6-4, 6-1, in the WTA 250 Sao Paulo Open quarterfinals last year, but they're now joining forces for SCA tennis against Ms. Fernandez, doubles number 68, and Kristina Mladenovic of France, doubles number 49. Leading to Abu Dhabi, Ms. Eala is having a roaring start to her 2026 season so far, following a semi-final finish at the ASB Classic in Auckland, an exhibition championship in the Kuyang Classic in Melbourne, and a last 8 stint in Manila. Ms. Eala also came off a historic main draw debut in the Australian Open, the first Pinay to do so as well, albeit she bowed to WTA number 99 Alicia Parks, the fastest serve in women's tennis history, 6-0, 3-6, 2-6 in Round 1 before a jam-packed crowd in Melbourne as one of the world's rising stars. John Bryan Yolande. At the edge of a February evening in Abu Dhabi, the sun slipping slowly behind the gleaming towers of the capital, a rising tennis star steps onto court bathed in lights. The rhythmic hum of tennis balls hitting strings and the quiet murmur of anticipation echoes through the International Tennis Center at Zayed Sports City. This is no ordinary match. This is a collision of dreams, histories, and the hunger to rise. On one side stands Alexandra Eala, the 20-year-old Filipino sensation whose journey has become the stuff of lore in Southeast Asian tennis circles. A young athlete with fire in her eyes and a world inside her racket, Alex is on the cusp of another defining moment. On the opposite baseline is Zeynep Sonmez, a determined 23-year-old Turk, equally hungry, equally fierce, a player ready to carve her own story in the sunlit courts of Abu Dhabi. Their paths have brushed before, twice in their climbing years on the ITF circuit, with Alex claiming victory both times. Their rivalry is friendly yet real, a dance of mutual respect threaded with competitive grit. But tonight, under the electric night sky at this prestigious WTA 500 event, there are no friends, only competitors chasing opportunity. The rise of a young star, Alex Eala's journey. Alexandra Eala's story is not just about tennis. It embodies perseverance. At only 20 years old, she has already rewritten history for her nation. Emerging from Manila's crowded courts and tropical humidity, she became the first Filipina to break into the WTA top 50, an achievement that echoed far beyond her family, sparking pride throughout the Philippines. This rise was powered by grit, grace under pressure, and a belief that borders couldn't define her destiny. Her 2025 season was nothing short of spectacular. Alex toppled Grand Slam champions, claimed her first WTA title, and stormed through competitive draws with poise that some seasoned players spend entire careers chasing. Her victories weren't just wins, they were statements. They affirmed her place among the sport's ascending elite and hinted at what might be possible. But tennis is a game of momentum and memory, and often, one must let the past fuel the future without tethering to it too tightly. So here in Abu Dhabi, with her racket poised and heart aligned on the baseline, Alex doesn't just see an opponent, she sees another chance to push her limits, to test her mettle in the heart of a packed tour where every point could rewrite her story. Sonmez, the challenger with grit. Across the net is Sonmez, a name less familiar to global headlines but no stranger to hard courts and endless rallies. At 23, she embodies a blend of discipline and ambition, the kind forged through matches where every game feels like a battle, and every set is carved through sheer determination. Sonmez's path to Abu Dhabi was not without turbulence, but it displayed her resilience. Coming off a solid showing at the Australian Open where she reached the third round and stunned several higher-ranked players, she heads into this encounter with confidence brimming just beneath her calm exterior. Her drive isn't shaped solely by rankings or titles, it's shaped by the belief that, on any given day, she can push the best to their edge. While she may stand below Eala in the rankings, a gap of several dozen positions, the difference in numbers doesn't define the contest. Rivalry in tennis is measured in heartbeats between serves, not rankings on paper. It's felt in each sprint to the backhand, each volley on a second serve, and in that silent grit that rises when a player refuses to concede ground. Moments before the first serve. The crowd grows thicker as the match draws closer, a blend of local spectators in Abu Dhabi, traveling fans, and eager tennis aficionados captivated by Alex's rising tale. Somewhere in the stands, supporters from the Philippines hold banners. Elsewhere, flags from Turkey wave proudly. For a moment, the courts transform, not just a venue for a tennis match, but an arena where worlds converge. Alex stands in a deep blue warm-up jacket, breathing in crisp night air, stretching her legs with measured calm. Her eyes, focused, reflective, gleam with a fire that even the desert winds cannot extinguish. She knows the task ahead, the long rallies, the mental chess of shifting momentum, the micro-battles within each game. But she thrives on challenge. Pressure doesn't deter her, it refines her. Sonmez, meanwhile, has her own pre-match ritual. She taps her racket against the ground, a rhythmic beat that seems to echo her inner drive. There's a calm intensity in her stare, not arrogance, but conviction. She's here to fight, to seize her opportunity under lights that shine as brightly on her as they do on her.